Buongiorno e benvenuti alla contea di Bucks. Oggi vi porto un ospite molto speciale da Altomonte, proprio qui nella contea di Bucks. Avrò Maria che parlerà della storia dell'Italia e da dove la loro famiglia è venuta e come sono venuti negli Stati Uniti in America per avere questo meraviglioso affare nella contea di Bucks.
And yes, that is a good morning and welcome to Bucks County Bytes. Today I bring you a very special guest from Altomonte, right here in Bucks County. And I have a very special guest, Maria. She is family and she is going to tell us all about the history of Italy and the history of her family and how they came to America, to the United States many, many years ago, and how they became who they are. It's such a touching story. I already know about it, and I am I'm so overtaken by the warmth and the generosity of the family. I'm so excited that they're going to be on the show, and I never thought that I would get them because it is a holiday season and they're very busy. So soon I will have Maria on. And of course she's going to speak some Italian, and I'm not able to speak very much of it, but I can translate it. And I thought I would introduce the show today in Italian, even though it's an artificial intelligence voice. It is my words translated over to Italian. So we're going to listen to Little Bocelli, and we will be speaking to Maria very soon.
Sogno all'orizzonte, mancano le parole, e io solo so che sei con me, tu mia luna, tu sei qui con me, io solo tu sei qui con me.
Okay, good morning, Bucks County. Bonjourno, come stai? We are going to call Maria from Altomonte. And I know she's excited and so happy that she can come on this Bucks County Bytes podcast. And this will be broadcast all over the world and into Italy, into France, into the UK. So this is exciting. So let's give her a call.
Good morning.
Oh, buongiorno, come stai?
How are you?
Good, how are you? I had to say hello, good morning in Italian. I don't get to speak much language.
Buongiorno, brava.
Thank you. This is wonderful. So this is Bucks County Bytes, and we are so excited to have you, Maria, and to have the family of Altomonte onto the podcast. I can't tell you how excited this is. So many people out there are listening all over the world, from people in France, from Italy, from the UK, from Ireland. Tons and tons of people will hear your voice, which means that your family, if you have family there in Italy yet, they will be able to listen to you also. You're a big deal here in Bucks County. So,
che bello.
And I hope you're not too nervous about this. I hope you have you ever done a podcast before? I have to ask
Never. I'm very excited and honored.
Wow, this is
to
great.
be the voice for my family, and very, very excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. So first thing I always do is I do an intro before I even call you. So I had a little artificial intelligence speak some Italian. And then I gave the intro. So I would love for you, Maria, to introduce yourself, and then we will get into your family, the roots, where you're from, how this all started. You know, people love stories of families and how their businesses began. And then we'll go into the pandemic situation and how it changed the business at all, if it did. And then we will talk about these holidays that are coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and of course the beautiful, beautiful Christmas Village that you work so hard at. So go ahead and give us an intro to all your listeners. Everyone that's out there wants to hear you.
Okay. And I have to tell you really quickly, I have a hard stop at 11 because I have another meeting. So I hope that's okay.
We can fit it all in. We've got we got 50 minutes. We're good to go.
Okay, very good. So should I just start?
Yep, go ahead. You're on.
Buongiorno a tutti. This is Maria Grispino Nappi. I am the Chief Corporate and Creative Officer at my family's business of Altomonte's Italian Market. We have 2 locations in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and we're very happy and thrilled that we are going on to our 50th year in business this coming year.
Wow. That's congratulations. Wow, that's fantastic. Good for you.
Grazie. Yes, big deal.
That is a big deal. 50 years is a long time. So tell us about you. Where is your family from? Going back a long time ago,
Sure.
What part of Italy are you from? Is it your mom and dad? Who started all this way back when?
So my parents met, actually, I believe they were in 3rd grade in the small town of Altomonte, which is in southern Italy, in Calabria, which is the province of Cosenza. And they got married in 1969. My dad was a butcher by trade. My mom grew up on a farm, and they were very self-sufficient in taking care of themselves. After they got married, they decided to, cross the Atlantic to find a better life and better opportunity.
Wow.
They wanted to start a family.
What year was that, Maria? What year was that when they met, way back when?
They got married in 69.
Okay.
And I know that they'd known each other since grade school. But they were married in 69, and then after they got married, they came to Philadelphia. My mom's sister was here, so she was able to be called over to come. That's how they did things back then. And then since my mom came from her sister calling her, she was able then to, I guess, sponsor my dad. And being a butcher by trade, he then went to work at a local supermarket. I believe it was Gennardi's at the time.
And that's down in Philadelphia, though, right?
Yep.
Down in the city back in the 60s, early 70s.
Yep. Now, my dad's dad had passed when my dad was only 12 years old. My grandfather was, I think, 47 when my dad died, and my dad was the oldest. Yep, the oldest of 5. At 12 years old, he was left to take care of the family, to literally stop school. Both my parents, they only went to the terza media. I think that translates to like 5th grade, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he was left to manage. They had a butcher shop and cantina. So people would come and have a glass of wine and get their meat cut. And, back then they couldn't pay right away. So they had a book and people would pay when they could.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, that's something that doesn't happen anymore today. That's
no, and you know what?
Yeah.
They did that in Germantown too, in Philadelphia, because same thing. People didn't have much, and when they would come to shop, and then when they got paid, they would go and pay my parents. And back then, they had after the piecework and after working somewhere else, they decided to open up a little corner mom and pop shop in Germantown on 65th and Worcester. And
yes, I know. Yeah, I've been down there. I've seen. Yeah, I know where it is. That's where they had it.
Yep. It's still a food market to this day. It looks very different. So my dad and mom continued to butcher meats. I remember them taking us, my brother and I, they would take us to the food center to go get our produce and go get all the supplies. And we always had a ton of small importers back then as well. So they had a lot of staples, but their specialty, it was called Mike's Meats back then.
Mike's Meats. So it's probably not there anymore than Mike's Meats, because they got all their produce and they got stuff from there, right, to bring into their shop.
Right. Yep. It's not. It's the building is still there, and it's still a little grocery store. I think it's a little Korean grocery store now.
Okay. Yeah, building's still there, but of course the shop is gone for probably a long
Yep.
time now. Okay, that's interesting. So they got their start right there in little German town at that time.
Yep.
In the little shop, and your family is there, just kind of just going along and running this great little shop that nobody thought that was going to become as big as it is now. But
No.
so how and when did they? So they must have relocated at some point from Germantown to. Did they go somewhere else before they came into Bucks County?
So there was an incident. It was actually in December, a few days before Christmas, and my dad was out purveying meats. He would go to the auctions back then. We still go to the auctions now for livestock, but he was not at the store, so it was only my mom and my brother, who was a toddler, in the back room, and someone came in and she was held up at gunpoint.
Oh my gosh! Oh my
yeah.
gosh! Your poor mom. Your
Yep.
mom was held at gunpoint. What? Oh, that's horrible.
Yep, right to her head.
Oh my gosh!
He told her to
Maria.
give her the cash register and lay down on the ground and not to call the police, and to count to 60 and don't get up until 60. So around this time also, they started thinking, okay, like, we want to raise our son, we want to have another child, hopefully. So they made the decision to head north, to go to the burbs. So they just started driving. North on York Road, and they found a little piece of land, and the next thing they found was a little house. This is behind Nativity of Our Lord School in Warminster, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And the first house they saw was the first house they bought. They fell in love with it, and
wow.
Right, basically around the corner, they built this little tiny store. It was like a little ranch, and then they decided to rename the shop Altomonte to pay homage to their hometown. And that was, I remember the store being, that was in 1981.
Oh wow! So it was back in 81 that they did this. They built this little. Okay.
Yep. And then from there, like, it was just my mom and dad working. We had maybe a handful of employees. And then my brother became very interested in the business. He decided he was attending LaSalle University at the time, and he decided that is just not for him.
He didn't want to stay. So he didn't stay in college. He just wasn't his thing. He didn't want to do that.
Right. After the first year, I remember him. He was always very much into the food business and into our business, and passionate about. And truly, my parents instilled both of us how much food matters, how much our roots matter. I'm becoming emotional talking about it.
I know you will be. It's okay. You can be emotional. You can cry. We've cried on the podcast before. It's okay.
So he left school, and at the time he came, and it was still a tiny little market then. And back then we would get our bread in from Scalea's, I believe. And I remember Saturday mornings would come, and like, the bread wasn't there in time. Like, we couldn't get the 6-foot hoagies. We couldn't get the rolls to make the hoagie trays, and it was such an issue. And we're like, we can't disappoint our customers. Right. People are relying on us to come through, and we can't be not having bread, the staple.
It's the kind of family you had to make sure everything was there, because you had steady clients, customers, and they knew you as a family. So that was something you could not do, right? You had to have the staples. Yeah.
Very seriously. And when my parents moved to Warminster, I mean, there was nothing Italian up here. There was nothing. Like, people did not know what good extra virgin olive oil was, what mortadella is, what good prosciutto is, what good imported pasta made of 100% semolina. So they really brought Italy and the spirit of the south of Italy, of Altomonte, to Bucks County. So then my brother became interested in the business, and it became obvious we're outgrowing this space. Like Christmas, it was a tiny space. Oh my gosh. I remember this one year, we would get like all the delicacies in for Christmas. So we would get eels, okay?
Oh my gosh.
Do the 7 fish. and we would get escargot. So one time, and my brother would, he's such a tease. He would love to, like, you know, torture me with these things.
Oh
but
my
one
gosh.
time the eels got loose.
They got loose? Oh my gosh.
They came out of the and like they're you know, all over the shop. So
how old were you? How was your?
Oh my gosh!
You guys
So
must have been pretty young.
When I was 5, we lived at the shop. I mean, there was not a
grew up
babysitter.
there. Yeah.
There was not, you know, there was no Girl Scouts
Right.
or, you know, soccer after school. When we left school, our after-school activity was Altomonte's Italian Market. We were
Right.
stocking shelves. We were mopping floors. We learned to slice very young.
You learned from the ground up with your family, yes.
Absolutely.
Family tradition.
I don't remember what year the eels came out, but another year it was Christmas time again, and we got escargot from France, and they came in these gorgeous, like wicker, gorgeous baskets with these beautiful tops that you clasp. Well, my brother and I would play with them, and we like, one of our jobs, you have to feed them, and they would eat polenta, which is ground cornmeal.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, you know, my parents are working and we're playing with, you know, whatever. And same thing. We didn't lock the top on the basket.
Oh, no.
And next morning, they were everywhere. I mean, escargot, snails, climbing the shelves, climbing the walls, climbing the tables.
Oh, my
parents
gosh.
were like,
I'm picturing this.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. I wonder how many people have heard this story before.
Wow. That was
just
one for the books.
Crazy. That is one for the books.
Yep. And then what happened? So again, we realized we don't have room in the store. We're outgrowing, because even back then we roasted all our own roast beef and turkey and pork. So in this tiny back room, we had a little oven.
You did all that there.
Yes. People would not believe it. I wish I had more photos of that back room. We had a sausage, you know, making table. So we would make fresh sausage in the back, one little, maybe 8-foot table. And my mom, I remember her having, like, mixing meatballs on the table. And
oh my gosh,
we made so much out of there, but we were just busting at the seams. So we had an opportunity around the corner to move into a larger building. So we did, and it was very scary for us because we're used to these small stores, and then you just hope it, like, dear God, if you build it, I hope they come.
Yeah, right. That's scary. It is scary for businesses to do that.
Yep. And by that time, I graduated from LaSalle University, and then my major was accounting, because my dad thought it was a good idea, and he was right, you know. But that wasn't. I discovered that after I graduated, I went to work for a small accounting firm, and it was so different, Martha.
You're inside.
It was like
You're stuck.
I was inside with, like, you know, behind a desk. With maybe I would see 2 people, maybe 2 people a day. The owners of that company.
Major change when what you were
doing. There was no smells. There was no people. There was no and even more bizarrely, like, it was Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, which was crazy because a small business. I mean, especially retail food, perishables. It's 8 days a week. Like,
yes, it
you
is.
know, there is no you're closed, you're off. It's so after the accounting firm
kept going. You just keep doing it, you'll love it. Yeah.
Yes. Like, I don't even think I knew there was, like, another option, actually.
No, you found out in accounting.
And crazily enough, I missed it so much, and after work at 5 o'clock, like, I would go back to the deli and you know, help whatever needed to be done, whether that's slicing meat or stocking shelves
deli's
or
in your
helping
blood.
customers.
Yeah, you could not get away from it. It's just there, and it always will be there. It's family tradition. I know.
Yeah.
I understand.
Every Saturday as a kid, I remember I would make cannoli filling. We didn't have a mixer back then, so it was literally me with, like, a wooden spoon. I must have been 12.
Oh my gosh, you did everything by hand. That's so good. You're making us all hungry just thinking about it.
Wonderful memories. It was what a way to grow up.
Oh, that's just amazing. And so you moved, so when did you actually move to you have the 2 locations. When did the store up here come? Because I kind of remember when it came in, because I'm like, wait a minute, where did this come from? I remember.
So in 2006 in Doylestown, is that what you mean?
Yeah, right here.
That was around 2006.
Yeah, because I live 3
opened...
minutes away, and you're so tempting to go to you. It's like, oh, oh, it is. There's the food. It's so good. I mean, you cannot resist when you walk into your store here in Doylestown. I feel like I stepped back in time. I feel like I'm in the old world, because my family is from the Netherlands. My mom's side is from Ireland, Scotland. My father is in the Netherlands. And you just feel like, the food, the smells, the environment, the people. It's what makes your store so beautiful, and you just feel heartwarmed when you walk in.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. And that's what I missed so much when I wasn't there. It was like, so I came right back. And yeah, so then in 2006 we opened a location in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and we outgrew that pretty quickly as well. So it was in 2016, I believe, that we started, that we decided the Doylestown location 2 we needed more parking, we needed more space. We wanted to give, we wanted to give people a place to sit. We wanted an expanded butcher shop with a dry aging room, because that still continues to be our passion. Like, we lost our dad January 1st of this year.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about your father's loss.
A tumultuous year, but now more than ever, like, we're just getting back to our roots and our beginnings. And I think, like everyone else this year, we're just back to basics. We don't need big and fancy, and we just need good, simple good. Back to basics. And yes, and for us that means meats. And people couldn't get beef this year.
No, it's been really bad for everything, but especially certain meats and certain foods you just couldn't get.
Right. But so this is a tradition that my dad and my mom passed down to us. I mean, when I tell you my dad would bring us to the livestock auctions, that was a regular occurrence for us, whether it was for calves or sheep or chickens.
Wow.
So my brother started the tradition again before my dad passed, but then this year, when truly we couldn't get beef because they have these giant facilities where they slaughter animals and processing.
Right. I've been there too. Yeah. So I remember I did the same thing with my own father. So we did all that.
Wow.
Oh yeah. So we had, give you a little bit of insight who you're talking to, not just a podcaster. We had a farm, 18,000 chickens, crops, organic. We did everything like your parents did and you. So I understand the whole background. We would go to the auctions. We did all that. We bought our own meat from the farms. So we would go in with half or quarters, whatever it would be, chicken, everything. I mean, everything we ate, we grew. And
that's wonderful.
That's just the way we grew up. We ate very, very healthy, organically, before organic became organic.
Yes,
so that's why when I saw yours, I read this story, I knew about it before you even talked about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have so much there in common. It is. So I completely understand.
You warmed my heart. That makes me so happy to hear that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that a lot of people do not know that background of where I came from, and the traditions that we had too. And it's very special. It's like I feel that connection when I go into your store. That's why I feel that way. And it's wonderful. It's funny because my dad was, a butcher by trade. Like, that's not a big deal, right?
Right. But like at his funeral, you would have thought like a statesman died. I mean, when I tell you the funeral was procession was miles and miles and miles long, and
I can
how many
believe it.
people, you know, the kindness of your father. And even though he was a butcher, like, he was the kindest, most compassionate man, passionate about what he did and what he instilled in us. Like, there was no waste. Like, if it was the animals, it was the animals get fed before us, because
oh yeah, that's what we did. Well, it's the same thing too. Animals always were taken care of first before we were. We never ate. We didn't eat till I don't know what time of the day, because everything had to be taken care of first. Yep.
And complete respect. I mean, there was no waste.
No, there was.
I mean,
never
the stuff
waste.
that we ate, Martha, there were nights that, like, 'cause I love all the offals and the specialty stuff, but like, when I tell you they did not waste anything, like, we would eat the lamb heads. Like, you do not waste anything, and I loved them. But there were times, like, you know, I just wanted to be like the kid with the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I didn't have peanut butter till I was 20-something years old.
Oh my gosh.
But when we had, like, the lamb heads or the oxtails or tripe, or like all the spezzettino, the like all the innards, I was like, oh my God, I hope my friends aren't coming over for dinner tonight, because I'd be embarrassed. But all like, you know, nose, snout to tail, absolutely everything was used.
Your father knew everything about that. You knew that you weren't supposed to waste the animal. Everything was utilized, no matter whatever part it was. You did. You took care of it. You ate it. You used it for something. No matter what.
You know, peccato.
Yeah.
It would be a sin to waste.
Yes, it would. So your father was well loved by so many people, and not just Bucks County, from all over. He had so many people that he connected to. That's why the funeral was that long. The procession was probably miles and miles and miles. You probably needed a police escort for this.
We did.
Yeah.
We had 3 counties. We had 3 different police precincts, I should say. Yeah.
You had probably Doylestown Police Department,
Warminster, Plumstead, Warrington.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You had quite a few. And I'm sure, like I said, everybody knew your father. Everybody knows your family, because they all know who Altomonte's is. It is the most amazing, unique store in the area. I mean, everybody they love Doylestown, they love Bucks County. We love all our restaurants and our stores that are here. But there, you know, you stand out amongst the crowd. You know, especially during this time with the holidays and this 2020. It's been such a horrible time. I'm just happy that you have been there and nothing has happened to your store. You were able to keep the business running, which I'm sure was a challenge too for you, but people still came. They needed food. So how
Martha, it was scary. It was, I mean, still, you know, today now with numbers counts going up, so we had begun to hear about COVID-19 first because it hit Italy. So for us, it already hit home, and, you know, we're listening to our family there, and, you know, we're on WhatsApp with them every day, finding out. So we knew, and we were like crying and so upset for our dear family and friends there. And
That's
then,
horrible.
You know, a few weeks later, here it comes to us. So we were already getting feedback, and we were already getting schooled on, hey, you need masks. Hey, like, they are, you know, you're only going out to do this. So, you know, I feel like we were on board and had to start a game plan going before perhaps others in our community realized it, just because we've been so close in touch with our family in Italy and Germany.
Yeah, you knew before, so you kind of you prepared. You knew that was going on
firsthand what they were going through. So we pivoted and we prayed, and we keep continuing to pivot and pray and hope that, you know, this leaves us soon. So we thought like, what are we going to do here? Like, we can't have a ton of people in. So we immediately establishing, the social distancing guidelines and put the things on the floor. So, don't stand too close, and installed all those plexiglass barriers so our team would be safe. So our customers who are more like extended family to us. I mean, we've had 3 generations after generation coming to us. We've seen babies grow up, and
you've got such an extended family of people just that have known you for years, families that know you through the generations.
I mean, silver linings to this. I mean, honestly, people have asked us to deliver for years, so we added delivery services, home delivery. We added curbside.
Okay, so this is good information for people that may not know, because this, like I said, this goes to everybody here in Bucks County. We have tons of listeners that you do have a delivery service, and we know that the numbers in Bucks are going up, which is really sad. And you will continue the delivery service.
Absolutely. I don't think that's ever going to go away. Everyone has had such positive feedback from it. So easy. I always thought too, when I was a new mom, how easy would it be to just pull up and have my babies in the back seat, and have someone pick the groceries. So we've pivoted and adapted. So we're doing curbside, we're doing home deliveries. I know. And also,
go ahead.
No, I mean, unfortunately, one of the things, we had to close our beautiful cafe. There's no more seating inside, but you have to come see it. We turned it into un villaggio italiano di Natale, an Italian Christmas village.
So that's what you've been doing all this time, because we were chatting like, I have to go back to the store. I have to go finish the Christmas Village. I'm like, wait a minute, Christmas Village. Like, I've been there I go there all the time. You wouldn't even know me if I go in. We'll have to meet eventually. But I was like, where's the Christmas Village? Wait a minute, what did I miss? But this is so you turn the cafe into the Christmas Village.
Yep. Now at Altomonte of Doylestown, when you come in through our double doors, you go past the registers, past the beautiful stone wall.
Yeah.
That entire cafe is
now
my
gosh.
Gigantic Christmas Village. We have Prosecco and bubbly. We have, oh my God, the panettone came in.
Oh my gosh.
And can I just tell you, I not because it's ours, but so proud because it's ours, but it is exquisite.
Oh.
I mean, it is, when you cut it, it's light, it's fluffy, it's soft, the flavors. I just had the fig and white chocolate. Exquisite. I'm so proud. We teamed with 2 brothers from Sicily.
Oh my
gosh. And their wives, they have an orchard as well. So like everything, they grow everything, like the pistachio cream, and the spreads and the mandarin jam.
Oh my God! So what is the name of this? So when I do the write up, I have to do the write up for the podcast too. So what is the name of that again? So I can put that in there.
They are Fratelli Sicilia. And they're 2 brothers from Sicily along with their wives, and just phenomenal product, which I love this because usually panettone was originated in Milano, which is in the north. We are in the south, and the south is much more chill, much more when I go to Italy, it's obvious that I'm from southern Italy.
There's a difference between north and south. Yes.
My dialect, my accent, my inflection, my hair, like
everything.
Like, it's obvious. They're like, as soon as I open my mouth, say calabrese, like, it's yes, and I'm very proud of that.
Right. Right. Oh, that's fantastic.
The land of hot peppers, pepperoncini.
It's so good.
So we're very proud to bring stuff from the south, and Sicily.
Wow.
You have to come taste it. I'm inviting you. Come on in.
I will be there. Trust me, I will be there. Just even to see the Christmas Village, to try these foods. I'm gonna have to. You're gonna have to just text me the spelling of that so I get that right.
I will. And also, like, I'm so thankful that we're still able to get our beloved olive oil from Italy too, because we developed relationships with the farmers there. Last year when I went to Italy, I met a lovely gentleman, Francesco, who, same thing. His family has olive trees, and so we partnered with them to bring true Calabrian olive oil, not that fakey stuff you hear about, the kind of olive oil that's pure and like the pepperiness hits your throat.
Yes. That's the
pure,
good olive oil.
Virgin olive oil.
Did you have trouble getting that over here because of COVID, because of this pandemic? Have you had trouble getting
Initially, yes, but thankfully, those paths opened up, and we were able to get more olive oil, and we should be getting the Novello soon. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, it's been a rough year on everybody. There's tons of businesses that are just gone, as you well know. Some have survived. Heart. I know, the restaurants, everything. It's breaking my heart for everybody out there, and that's one of the reasons I started the podcast, is to help people, whatever business they are, individual. People can hear about the stories that are out there in the businesses or individuals, what's going on. This helps people hear to help them. Maybe that they hear about Altomonte's. Yes, they're still open. Yes, they are still offering this. They have delivery service. Then you hear about some of the restaurants that did close, but they're making food to help provide to people that are starving. So you're hearing these different stories of what's going on out there, and I'm helpful that way. And
not only people that need food, but all our first responders. And like, we've brought meals to feed our nurses and doctors. I mean, these, like, our cousin too is she's head of an entire floor, and she was telling us, I mean, they would be working 12 to 16-hour shifts with masks on. I mean, no bathroom breaks, no food breaks. So we couldn't do anything about that. But for our local hospital, we made smaller meals that were completely hermetically sealed, so whoever needed a meal could just heat it up safely when they needed it, and to help those who have been sustaining us and helping us. Wow. I don't know, they are the heroes.
Yeah, they are
the heroes.
I've heard many stories from many people. I've helped out where I could, when I could. I mean, I actually delivered coffee to Doylestown Hospital by a DoorDash. So,
and it's just the little things, right?
Things that make a difference.
Back to the simple, yes.
Yeah, they needed something, and of course they couldn't get out. It's like, one of the girls gets a hold of me, Martha, we need such and such. Is it possible? You know what? I'm just gonna DoorDash you a ton of coffee over there, and it worked. It worked because nobody could really get out and do anything. Yeah, it's been a horrible time.
And that's to me too. That's another silver lining. Like, as horrible as this has been, it takes a village. Like, I don't know how to be a doctor or a nurse. God bless them. My brain doesn't work that way.
No, but you have something that
cook for you.
Right.
I can sustain you. Right. I can nourish your belly, and
you need that. People need that out here. We need the shops that stay open, that are able to feed people, that we can go buy product. If you had grocery stores closing, we'd all be in trouble if things closed. It's an essential working situation. It has to stay open.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy to know that you're still here and providing all this for all the essential workers that are out there. I'm so thankful that your family came here and started this business, and you're here many, many years later, 50, and your father, think how proud your father would be about the village. I mean, that's something new. Can you picture what he would look like? His eyes, his facial expression.
He always had a twinkle in his eye. His smile always went to his eyes. Like, even if he, ironically, through the end, he had a mask on for the last year of his life because he was going through chemo. Couldn't, and was immunocompromised. So ironically, he had a mask on, but you could always see a smile. You could still see the twinkle in his eye.
You can tell when someone smiles because the eyes just show it.
He would love the Christmas Village, and he would say, "We need more wine. We need more vino. Bring more wine.
Bring more wine."
last year we got our liquor license at Doylestown, so we're able to import special order wine. So
I saw that you have the wine.
Yes,
That is a really nice thing.
And being in Pennsylvania, it's a little difficult finding, good stuff because we're so regulated. But through the kind of license we have, we're able to do special orders. So we have some amazing, amazing, amazing wines from all over Italy, and particularly my heart and love, obviously, is the South and from Sicily. So we've been able to bring amazing, amazing, amazing wines from there.
Oh, people are gonna hear this and they're gonna, they're gonna get hungry just listening. All the holiday meals that you're preparing, this wonderful Christmas Village, all the wine, foods. I mean, it's hopefully everybody can try to enjoy the holidays, even with everything going on. It's difficult. I know one of the things that I'm going to say is you are offering the Thanksgiving meals for two. You didn't do this before. So you're offering
not before
for two.
This year.
And of course I ordered the small one because my mom can't be with me. She's in a nursing home and they just shut down again. So I can't see her. I can't even have her for any kind of meals. She just went in this year, right in March, right when the pandemic hit. My mother went into a nursing home of all times.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
It's
Martha.
horrible. We can't see her. I haven't seen her in months. I've seen her for a couple times that we had to take her to get surgery done. I was allowed to do that. And now I can't. She calls me up just a couple days ago, Martha, they shut down. They locked down again. Mask shields.
Honey.
I mean, they've been wearing masks, but now they have shields. I'm like, well,
My heart.
It's horrible. I'm like, well, we can't even have Thanksgiving. We can't have Christmas. My nephew asked me, well, can we get her out to have her at dinner? I'm like, no, we're going to have to just FaceTime with her. Luckily, she can use her iPhone pretty good, and she's about 90. She's going to be 90.
God bless her.
So it's tough. And she listens to every podcast, so she'll hear this.
I thought that it would be so special. Like, even if we can't be together, maybe we could just all be eating the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And open it at the same time.
Yeah.
And
that's a good idea.
So we're doing the meals for just two people. We're doing it for 4 to 6 or 10 to 12. But
so you have the options of 2, 4 to 6, and all the bigger. So that's good that everybody knows, because I know different people, they go out. They might go to McCaffrey's, they go to Altomonte's, they go to Giant or Wegmans, or they'll get their meals. But I have had, and I've tried them all. And I'm going to tell you right now, you are number one when it comes to the food, because it's so good. The turkey is so good. All the everything. I mean, when I
Martha, we truly make everything from scratch.
I know
we also opened our commissary this year. We when we say we're making it from scratch, I mean, there's humans in there, making it from scratch. It's become more difficult, being socially distant, and the masks and the face shields and, the temperature taking and everything. But, we are going to keep doing what we've been doing for the past 50 years, because what else are we going to do?
Right.
People need good food. Yeah. It matters what you eat. It matters the quality of it. You can taste it. Your body knows. Your body feels it.
Absolutely. I mean, the baked goods that you have there, when you go by the baked goods.
All butter.
Just everything is done by
Italian flour.
Oh, I can see it. I can smell it. I can taste it. It's too tempting. Like, you cannot pass there without getting something. It's so dangerous, but so good.
I pride myself on being a fit Italian. So I say, like, if I'm going to splurge and then I'm going to eat the good stuff. At least I'm going to have real butter and real vanilla and good Italian flour from wheat that is non-GMO, that's unbromated, that's unbleached.
Real food is the way to go. You don't want the fake stuff, the processed food. That's the worst thing for your body. Get the most natural thing you can, no matter what it is. That's the best thing to put in your body, because your body knows what it is and it will burn it as a fuel. It knows what to do with real food, not the processed.
we have, nowadays, like, so many salespeople, and God bless them all. Like, they try to sell you this and that to make it easy to do this, to do that. So I had someone call me up and say, Maria, what do you use for your whipped topping?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what do you mean? Like, what do you use for like a strawberry sugar? I said, we use whipped cream.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make it? I'm like, we take cream and we
do
mix
the real
it
thing
with sugar. She's
right.
like, oh, well, I have this whipped topping that, it's bucket. It comes in a bucket and it's long shelf life. And I'm like, nobody, like, no, like, that is not, we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
My dad never put, he was like, I don't even know what that junk looks like. My dad, for our meats, we don't gas them with carbon dioxide. We don't pump them with red dye to make it look red. Our buttercream is
mm-hmm.
actually butter and sugar and vanilla. Our baked good, like, everything is premium ingredients from scratch, the way that we believe it mm-hmm. should be, and that's why it tastes better.
Fantastic.
It's not. I always say it's not rocket science. We just keep it simple.
That's the
and
magic behind your store. It's the magic behind the family. It's magic behind the food. That's why it is what it is. It's so
our
good.
Bread, is it going to be good tomorrow? No, it's not going to be good tomorrow.
No, you make the bread daily, so it's what you do. I've lived in France. I've been over there, and you'd go to the market on a daily basis. You would buy your bread, your foods. That's just what you do when you're in Europe. You buy fresh food. And it's the same thing there. You go to your shop, you want fresh bread, you get the fresh bread there.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be good the next day. It's going to be hard because it's the real thing. There's no
Right. And then you make
chemicals.
Croutons, or you make breadcrumbs.
You can do that. Sure.
Or you make the tomato bread, over an open fire, or just grill it. Nothing goes to waste, but...
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you have made everybody so hungry right now, and I can't wait to get this out there. So you realize that your podcast will be on 25 plus platforms. Anybody can listen to it, and then it gets turned into a YouTube. So I will need some more photos of your if you could send photos when you get time of your father and mother, and some Italian photos from back home. They will go onto the YouTube. The YouTube is a podcast for people that don't have the streaming services. Yes. They can see it and hear it on a YouTube.
Great.
So that will be available. I have
all those ready for you, because as we're preparing to celebrate our 50th year anniversary in 2021, I've been writing a book with my mom, and we're putting back together our calendar with all our recipes in it. I haven't done it for 2 years, so I've been collecting, Martha, all the photos.
Oh my gosh, you have the photos.
I have them all.
Send them over.
It would be an honor to send them to you, and I would be so happy.
It's going to be so nice to see the YouTube. I love to put that in as we tell the story. Those pictures will go in as the story as you talk about your family. That'll be there, and it's just going to be available for people all over the world. They can see that YouTube. Once it's done, you can share it to your family. Say, this is the YouTube, or here's the podcast. You can listen to it here. And, and it will go all over social media, from LinkedIn to, TikTok to Snapchat to Instagram to Facebook to all social media. It goes everywhere. You'll be seen by lots of people. And then we promo it, so it gets promoted. So even more people see it. It's so much fun to do. I
wrote something. I wonder if you would mind if I read it to you. I wrote something for the back of our calendar. Mm-hmm. It's a thank you. I wonder, let me see. Here we go. I'm not messing up your podcast, am I?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I had people sing new songs, like they're artists, and they sing on the podcast. Here's a new song, and they give us a little taste of it. So you can do whatever you want on the podcast.
Okay, I'm going to read it to you. I made... Okay, here it is. This is what I wrote for the back of the calendar.
Okay.
On January 1st, 2020, we lost our father and co-founder, Mike Grispino, to leukemia. That's how the year of 2020 started for us. complete devastation, sadness, and turmoil. We could have never anticipated what the rest of 2020 held in store for us and the world. Now, more than ever, we remember our beloved father, and as 2021 marks our 50th year in business, we hold true to our roots and what our parents taught us. Don't ever hit that snooze button on life. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. Anything worth doing is worth doing the right way, no matter how big or minuscule the task. Live each day with joy. Do all things with passion. Keep smiling and shining that beautiful light of yours. Stay positive. Keep the faith. Be kind. Treat your neighbor as yourself. Find the fun and the blessings in a hard day's work. And never, ever give up. Thank you to our amazing team and everyone that has helped us through the years. Our success would be impossible without you. From a tiny town in the south of Italy to a little mom and pop corner store in the Germantown section of Philly to Bucks County, PA, we've grown in so many ways. To our loyal customers, generation after generation, a world of thanks from our hearts for your continued patronage of our family-owned and operated markets. Your support, love, and loyalty is what keeps us going, and we are forever grateful to you. Blessings of peace, health, and hope to you and your families. Cent'anni e felice anno nuovo.
Oh, I guess we can cry together. Yes, I am. You just made me cry. I'm crying on the podcast right now. I've got tears coming down, and
what a year!
Oh my
what
gosh,
a year!
it was so beautiful what you wrote. It's so touching. Oh my gosh, your family is so beautiful and wonderful. I wish that everybody would have what you have to give. You have given so much to so many people, and we all love you out here in Bucks County. We are so happy.
You.
And I am so sorry that you lost your father, but he would be very proud of you for everything that you still are accomplishing during this horrible 2020. But I am so touched. I'm so moved by everything that on this podcast is so beautiful. Unbelievable.
Thank you. Thank
what
you
a
so
story.
much for having me and for giving us a chance to listen to our story.
Your voice will be heard. Your story will be heard all over. I promise. And I want you to have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I will be seeing you soon in the store.
Yes, please.
I will. And definitely we will be getting your YouTube. As soon as you get the pictures over, I'll get that out this week, okay?
Okay, grazie Marta.
Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Have a wonderful day. Ciao.
Altrettanto.
Ciao,
Ciao,
ciao.
ciao, ciao. Grazie mille. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, Maria, you are an amazing woman. You have an amazing family with this beautiful, wonderful store, the shop. Everything that is about your family is such tradition. And let me tell you, Bucks County, if you haven't been there yet, and I don't think there's one soul out there that has never been there, you must go see the Christmas Village. Go put an order in for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, whatever it may be. Just go visit them because they are such a loving and giving and warm, generous family. Everyone in Bucks County, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. We will be coming at you again with some more podcasts and some upcoming really special guests coming up again. We have everybody as a special guest, but we have so much coming on. So, Altomontes, thank you. Maria, thank you. To the family of Altomontes, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming and creating such a wonderful, wonderful store. Take care of yourselves, everybody. This is Bucks County Bytes, over and out.
Nessuno mai ce l'ha insegnato. Vivere, non si può vivere senza passato. Vivere è bello anche se non l'hai chiesto mai. Una canzone ci sarà sempre qualcuno che la canterà.